gonna say, oh hell yeah! All right, we're live, baby. So this goes back to a concept Zach and I had before we were demoted to mid management, where we thought we would wake up early. And I know a lot of people are like 8:30. That's not early. Well, we do have a friend who's working a traditional job who's still not up yet for his 9 to 5. So we did beat him up. But the idea of the podcast is to do it slightly tired, or you do it as you wake up, to just kind of let that morning nonsense out. So, welcome to the Mid Management Morning Podcast, everybody. This is where Zach and I are just going to talk about, the real hard hitting stuff, board games. Trevor getting up to go to work finally. um, the state of the union. Oh wait, no, sorry, I always F that up. That's what our Salsa Parlor CEO does. Which, if you don't know, Salsa Parlor's shareholders came together, and that's how Zach and I got ousted, being dual CEOs and CFOs. So Salsa Parlor's new CEO is actually currently President Joe Biden. And when a lot of people are like, can he be a CEO of a company and also the President of the United States at the same time? To which I say, I'm pretty sure if the company's hella in the red, and I'm quoting Joe here, but hella in the red, he's super fine to be running that shit. End quote. Zach, your thoughts?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. I do like what he's doing with the company. Or not so much the country, but the company.
I was gonna say, is that code?
No, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I like Joe, man.
That was wasn't that his like, that was a motto or whatever, like the chant for the 7 people that would show up to his rallies.
Yeah,
Like, I like him, I like Joe.
I like Joe.
The fact that nobody made G.I. Joe PSAs for Joe Biden is a goddamn travesty.
Yeah. Well, I was making G.I. Joes, but it was gastrointestinal.
Gastrointestinal. And then just, instead of G.I. Joe, it's just fat shit noises. Which honestly is, I think, a great name to a new EDM and or mumble rap group.
G.I. Joe.
No, fat shit noises.
Gastrointestinal Joe.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good name, actually.
Gastrointestinal Joe. Yeah. Like a singer-songwriter who has Crohn's or shits a lot.
Hey, Crohn's is no laughing matter.
No. Had a buddy. Little room.
Happiness step?
Nah. You kidding me? What is that? 7 minutes of cushion? You could hang at a red light, let it turn green, and then let it turn red again.
It's fine.
Ah, man.
He's lounging.
I'm not gonna lie, dude, because you and I were talking about the struggle between like starving artist jobs, where you just kind of either pick something. It is wild to me, the amount of jobs that suck ass that you work between 7 a.m. and like 4 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m. There's not a lot of like, well, maybe no. It's not that they're bad jobs. I've had a lot of jobs that are good in those hours, but they're just crazy inconsistent sometimes. Or they don't give you night flexibility either, which I don't know, but it is just kind of wild to me to see the difference between, the struggling and having enough time to do exactly what you want, or people working the 9 to 5. But then it's like, who'd have thunk Dolly Parton nailed the song of the proletariat? Where it's just like, I don't know, man. Hats off to the people that can work the 9 to 5 and then hustle as hard as they do after to keep pursuing a real dream. Which, I mean, I know it's happened, but
Yeah, I've watched the 9 to 5 kill people, dude. Well, not like literal. Yeah, maybe. Literal.
I think no, I think you're right. It depends on the 9 to 5 as well, because I'll tell you this much, man. I was very grateful to have a nice paying job, but I'll just tell you right now, despite how bland I'm being, not an insurance salesman. I just can't. I don't know, man. I'm bad. I'm bad at like conventional sales jobs. Because when I manipulate people to do what I want for money, it just feels not good.
Yeah, it feels bad.
Yeah, I don't feel. I'm not saying it's bad to do that. Like, you need salespeople in a capitalist economy, but just for me and my psyche, like I can't do it. And like, dude, I'm naturally like talkative. I like chatting with people. I like doing that. And then when you get somebody who's like, good, now use that to fucking get what you need out of somebody. I'm like, ooh, like, yeah, occasionally you have to, but
Well, it's also use that to further the company.
yeah, that's the other thing is I would just hear kind of things I didn't quite like from MGMT, which like not the band, but you know.
My mic is. I'm just kind of far away from it.
Oh, okay. Hey,
I'll do
morning, Lena. Morning,
this.
Sean. But no, I don't know. I'm rambling, but my point being is like it just kind of it didn't mesh with me. So as soon as I had my out, I was like, yeah, I can't do this. And hey, am I struggling now? A little bit. A little bit, but I don't know. I thought about being a janitor again for a little while, and then I was like, nah.
No, we're losing viewers.
Oh, no.
We're losing viewers. We got to be more interesting and exciting. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Salsa Parlor Morning Show,
Hey,
Middle Management Edition.
What have we got from today, Zach? What celebrity touched their butt on what today? Did you hear this? First she's licking donuts. Now I hear that Ariana Grande farted on a donut and proceeded to put it back in the case. My God, what will she do next?
Oh, welcome back to the Hollywood Sniz.
We're
all the latest scoops sauce full of this the
dude. What's your take on the hot schlock of the week? You know what blows my mind?
we need superimpose
schlock of the week. That's some hot schlock. Dude, because we kind of do it on the morning show.
Sucks.
Leo
Bad
DiCaprio.
actor.
Leo DiCaprio wasn't good since he was doing commercials as a childhood actor. Fight me. Only Leo. Fight me.
I'm asking Leonardo.
Please,
DiCaprio
Leonardo,
to
fight me. Come over and fight me. Come over and let's hang out and fight me. Come over, Leonardo DiCaprio. Come over and fight me, and let's chill and talk about the movies I do like. Fight me. Hey, look at that fucking bump in the viewership. God damn it, the internet's dumb.
Well,
as soon as
we lost, we're losing them.
no.
We're losing them. Unbelievable.
Fuck
Are those
all that.
green and purple troops, Sean Murray asks? Why, yes, they are.
Cog unit? No, cogs unite. Goddamn right. Who asked if they were green and purple troops?
Shon Murray was like,
I
are
didn't
those
see it.
green and purple
I didn't
troops?
see it. Oh, yeah,
You
they
better
are.
believe it, Sean.
You
This
can't-
is the Scythe expansion.
Ugh.
Hold on.
What's going on?
Cam 3.
Are you trying to do the cam switcher?
Cam switch to Cam 3 so
switch.
you can see the board, Sean.
Yeah, man.
Pretty cool.
And that was the death stroke. As soon as we cut the scythe, people are like, I'm fucking out.
Hey, everybody. This is a board game we were playing last night.
Dude, it is wild. I didn't think board games were as polarizing.
People hate. Well, here's the thing.
Like Jake hates board games
Mhm.
and board games.
Dude, honestly, like it's one thing to not like risk type games,
Yeah.
and prefer like party board games,
Yeah.
like Secret Hitler and
Or
shit like that.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like, what's that Brandnasium? Do you remember? I'd always remember there's like Cranium,
Oh,
and like a
yeah.
few other brain games were like, you'll be shitting your pants at this party if you buy this board game.
Yeah, or like categories and shit.
Yeah,
too.
have you ever played?
Categories?
Yeah,
No, it's a
or
meme for me. I've only heard
what is
about
it called? Brainasium.
Brain aneurysm.
Brain
Yeah, my favorite board game.
Quiznos.
Quiznos. My favorite
Quiznos.
board games I got on the shelf here: Brain aneurysm,
Quiznos.
Quiznos subs.
Oh no,
Um,
man! The dog just farted on my foot.
My other favorite card game, Cards Against Humans.
Yeah, yeah. Which is just when Joe Biden plays blackjack alone. Pictionary is my jam. All right, see, I get that.
Yeah.
So party games like that, most people
but
can get
I
about.
think most people like that stuff.
Yeah.
Like here's the thing. I'm dog shit at trivia,
Yeah.
but I'll play a trivia game for the funsies with the boys.
Do you
know?
ever fuck with Trivial Pursuit?
Dude, I don't think I ever played Trivial Pursuit, but I played trivia games. My dad loves trivia. And
Well, you know who? This is not a knock at Bud,
Uh-huh.
but you know who loves trivia games?
Oh,
Older people,
yeah, that's
because
true.
they've been around for the trivia.
Yeah, they're like, we know all the stuff.
Dude, try playing a Trivial Pursuit game with your buddies now that came out in the 90s. Not one of you's getting that right, unless
Did
it's like a plate tectonics question.
We still have to play the French Canadian trivia game that we have downstairs, where all of the questions. It feels like the It's Always Sunny episode where all the trivia questions are about their friend circle.
Yeah.
Because every single question is like, what did this French singer do
Yeah.
on this day? And you're like, what?
What did patriotic Macron Abelson do after he hanged the Schnorblock? And you're like, all right, well, that's easy.
Canada's weird.
Dude, Canada is odd, dude. That's a fun country. Turns out
Elena
it's a country.
has a Trivial Pursuit from the
See,
90s.
I would play it, but most of those trivial facts are going to be from the 70s and 80s. And it's
Yeah.
not even like we might get the occasional
no,
like
we
Michael
would-
Jackson's
We
Thriller.
would get it. We would get it.
Yeah.
Questions about Tom Jones and shit.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we would get some pop cultural ones, like what singer
No,
songwriter?
questions about the Cold War. Come on.
What do
we
you know?
would-
What do you know about the Cold War?
That it took place before the 90s, so we would definitely get questions about it, and I think that we would know.
What? Yeah, but what do you know about it? Huh?
Russia,
Yes.
America,
What? Hang on.
satellite
You're
nations.
losing me. You're losing me.
The United States of America.
Okay.
That was a
when you
huge
say
part.
America, I'm like, what part of those two continents, Zach? Get
No,
it together.
The United States, the Middle America.
All right. Central America.
Yeah, we are Central America.
Central America.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because South America is not America.
No.
South America is a separate continent. They need to stop calling it that.
Yeah. Which,
Uh,
if you think about it, like, come on,
Yeah,
you
it's
could have.
because Canada's North America.
Well, you want to know my beef
Um,
with South America?
what's that?
Without it being called South America, we could just call North America America.
Mm.
And you know who it's named after? I think a guy named America. Wasn't that right? Isn't there
Well-
just a guy named America? They're like, fuck it, him. He,
We should give South America to Brazil and Argentina. Just have them split it halvesies.
yeah,
and
I
then-
think
and then-
Ecuador and Peru and Venezuela.
Well, they'd all
the
be
other-
upset about it. But
Yeah.
but
Okay,
the
no, all
thing
right. Now I
is-
get what you're
is
saying.
We give them
Did you say Brazil and Venezuela?
no Brazil and Argentina.
Oh, so you just you want an Eastern sweep?
Yeah, I'm thinking. Well, Brazil is the far eastern.
I never took you as a
Argentina.
pro Portuguese guy.
I'm not, but I think that we give. I can't stress enough, people watching.
Yeah,
I'm not pro Portugal at all.
not a lot of people are.
Yeah, anybody with their head on the swivel
Yeah.
knows not
The
to
only-
be pro Portuguese.
Only Nickelodeon Global Guts was into Portugal.
Yeah, no, I'm pro Spain.
Yeah, that
Well,
makes sense.
I'm pro Spain and Aztec native.
Okay, you both, or just like kind of appreciate.
I appreciate the Aztec native. I know they have no chance.
Now or then?
Both.
Okay.
They've never had any chance.
Yeah, that's fair.
If we gave them, it's kind of like Scythe. If we gave them an extra 15, 20 turns, they may have been able
Maybe,
to develop
yeah.
something. But
Well, yeah, but that's like playing Scythe and then have somebody roll up with an airsoft gun and start shooting everybody at the table. It's
exactly.
not even fair. Like they
Um,
were playing a different game.
Yeah, when the if you guys didn't know, the Aztecs.
I like that Zach thinks it's ours to give.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't. This is an idea.
I was gonna say, speaking as an American,
This is the royal we. I think
Oh.
that we as a world come together
yeah.
because I think it's not a decision for us or America to make.
I think this is a hot take on the UN floor when you're like, we just got. And I could just see Brazil and Argentina. Like this guy's making a lot of sense. This guy, fucking Chile and Peru.
Because I'm gonna be honest, if
Uh.
I go for South American countries, I prefer
Yeah.
Venezuela
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Or are you just saying it?
and Peru
I don't believe you.
and
All right, I'm gonna meet you somewhere. I like El Salvador. You don't know where that is, do you?
no, I just don't know if I agree with you.
Oh yeah, you can Machu Picchu my balls in your mouth, huh? How's that?
The reason why I'm saying Argentina and Brazil
Yeah.
is because they're large,
Okay.
and I think that the issues that Brazil has
Mm-hmm.
would be lessened if they had more territory.
Okay.
More
That
territory
sounds
to work
like anybody going to somebody that's like, we should start a land warp.
Yeah, we should start expanding.
We need it.
So it's just like being a spokesperson for that.
I think you would have
Um,
crushed it in the early 1900s when everybody was like, man, we just need to stretch our puppies. Do you see my puppies? They are so
You know
tired.
what would make France better? If it was bigger.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Germany.
Oh, yeah.
Because
is-
that's
well, yeah.
that was the pitch. Like you imagine, all right, Hitler's chilling. He's working on his comp and
Yeah, his
fucking
comp.
yeah, his comp. He probably, he's thinking it. And you come in like Goebbels is waiting in line. You're all waiting in line with your plans, right? And
I'm
like
Goebbels.
no, you're sitting next to Goebbels. You
Right.
didn't get the gig,
I'm just
so
a
you
guy,
just
yeah.
took your DeLorean back to our time.
Yeah.
But you're sitting there, and everybody's pitching Hitler, and he's a little bit like, "Is this guy speaking English?" And you're like, "Yeah, not a problem." But you just go, "Hitler, Bobby." You know what would make France better? Germany. And he was. Yeah, that's when it happened.
A little bit of German influence.
Yeah. Hey, Greed X is on. What's up, dude?
Like how I just kept the stream title Souls Parlor Live.
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna change it.
to all right.
I'm gonna change it.
To change it to your struggle. Ugh. I hate that so much. Okay. So you think Brazil and Venezuela would do just a bang up job with South America?
Not really. I think that they would do a better job.
Okay.
Uh,
All right.
because I think South America's boned no matter what. In like a
I feel like they're doing
in a
fine.
continental war,
Yeah.
they're fucked. Like it's not even close.
Well, see, they're going to be untouched. I wouldn't waste a nuke on South America.
No. I'm not talking about.
The fuck is that? Your reminder to interrupt the show?
Scranton, Pennsylvania's calling me.
Oh, shit. He's
yeah.
watching, huh?
Yeah.
What if, Trump watched Fox News? What if Joe Biden just always had a bowl of popcorn and all he did was watch Salsa Parlor? Like, I like what those boys in Michigan are doing.
Dude, Joe. Oh man, I love how tired he is. I'm gonna
Sleepy
use to give
Joe.
that man a nap.
Well, after what America
Greed
went
X.
through, that's what I'm saying. Greed X is watching, dude.
Hey, Greed X.
After what, I can't believe Trump hasn't made a Cup of Joe reference to get that guy awake. But I am shocked. I don't know. It drew a blank. Drew a goddamn blank. I'm gonna get a second cup of coffee. Do you want one?
I'll take a warm.
But okay, no, we were talking about South America. So here's something. I've been listening to the audiobook World War Z. I finished it yesterday and just liked it enough that I was on repeat. Have you read that book or listened to it? World War Z. It fucking rips, dude. And because it's like
It's a zombie one, right?
yeah, but it's not like there's a couple of chapters that deal with like zombie combat, but it's very much like the way it's written is it's hindsight perspective on the actual war against the zombies. So you hear like logistical chapters about different governments and how they handled the crisis. And it's cool because it's like, yeah, the zombies are almost a MacGuffin to further the plot of like another global war. And it is wild because you do kind of see shovel weapons. See? Get into it. They're called Lobos. Sean knows what's up.
Oh.
I'm telling you, man, we talk about zombies on this podcast, we immediately get 40 people. YouTube's like, put it in the zombie algorithm. Some fucking just guy who's tired of jacking off of The Walking Dead's like, I need different zombie content. And then the real hard heads are talking to like,
We could stream live scythe stuff.
I would do that as long as we don't have to interact with people because if you're listening right now, I'm not talking about you now, but something I've learned from like Twitch and other things streaming and then doing other stuff I love. I'm like, dude, some things just got to be for you, baby. Like playing Scythe with the boys. I'm like, man, I don't need Hot Take 45 being like, shit move. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
like
we could set up camera over top of the board.
I get why it would look dope. I don't think you're picking up what I'm putting down. Just strangers on the internet. Except for Greed. He's cool.
Yeah, Greed.
Greed. All right, let me get a Refrescos. Let me get you a hot, refreshing coffee. And then do a poll with the listeners right now. Do you think coffee is refreshing? Can it be as long as it's not cold? It's got to be hot coffee. Piping hot. You want a warmer? Just warm it up?
Hey guys. It's just me now. Lou went to go get coffee. How you guys doing? Oh, I gotta change the camera so you guys can see me. Hey, how you doing? It's pretty early. We were talking about Joe Biden. Never in a political sense. I can't stress that enough. I don't think we've ever spoke about the president of the United States in a political way. It's always in like an uncle way. Kind of like you're talking about your uncle or like, you know, you ever have that like wacky uncle, you never know what he's going to do next. That's not really Joe. Joe's more about that uncle that is real boring and you kind of expect what he's going to do. So you don't even really think about it. But when you talk about him, everybody's like, oh, Joe. You know Joe, always napping. Always napping. What a sleepy Joe. Louis' bag. I hope you guys enjoyed the segment of the podcast I like to call
Keeping it going.
Keeping the podcast going. Keeping the live stream streaming.
I don't know what I said before I left, but my anxiety and OCD kicked in a touch. Oh, is the streaming thing? If you want to stream, I'm down. I'm down to
Sean
streaming.
says it's refreshing, but not for the right reasons. What are the right reasons?
Like when you drink like a Refresco drink and you're like, my insides feel fun and bubbly and like hydrated. Whereas like you drink a hot black coffee, you take a mad shit. All right, here's follow-up question. Can a shit be refreshing? Yeah.
It's relieving.
Okay.
It's not refreshing.
No?
Yeah, it's relieving.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Because I feel like refreshing is you ingest something and feel energized, light, maybe even just a touch cool. Whereas relieving, like a massage or a shit, you let go of something and then you're relaxed. So
It's defreshing.
it's defreshing. That's an incredible term.
See, I think that coffee is comforting
No.
and it's not refreshing at all. Not even an iced coffee.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
An iced coffee tastes good, and the cold is nice, but it doesn't. So
No, hey, I'm vibing with it.
this is for the viewers.
Your organs
are getting
getting
hydrated.
hydrated.
Yeah, when you have a water is refreshing and comforting at the same time.
Yeah.
Because your
Drinking
body is being comforted by the fact that you're giving it what you need.
Hey, let's do some science. Okay, that's room temp tap.
I got cold water.
Ooh, that's gonna be refreshing because right now this was slightly comforting.
So you.
Okay, that's cold. Oh, that's gotta be refreshing as fuck. Can I have a sip?
Yeah, I immediately felt when I drank that.
Yeah.
I immediately felt in my mouth,
Yeah.
into my throat, into my body.
Dude, you're playing this up. This better not suck.
No, I immediately felt in my mouth, into my throat, into my body.
All right.
A wave of literal refreshment.
From cool, not cold, but this is cool. By the way, I like this. This is a perfect temperature for water.
Exactly.
It's not cold. It's not trying too hard. It's cool.
It's cool water. It's refreshing water.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. But you feel it, right? Go down into your chest, into your
and then the relief in my brain, or the little veins and arteries that hug the temples are like, hey, not coffee. Good call.
Exactly. Hey, we need this one.
All right, here's something I always wanted to ask you, because I know you're always at fine dining establishments. How do they? How do they always bring the water out cool but not cold, and there's never ice involved? It's just that waiter shows up with like a fucking, like they, like fancy restaurants that they're like refilling these bottles all the time, and the water's like cold. It's cool. It's not cold. It's like the perfect sipping temperature for the butter steaks they bring out.
They have temperature controlled shit. So.
Get out of like a fridge just for water though? No, I know you're kind of being dead ass, but I'm dead ass and back.
Yeah, no, they have temperature controlled coolers. And it'd be really easy I've never worked at a restaurant that didn't just tap water.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
I feel like they just, like, it's a fridge thing that they nailed whatever it's coming out at, and then they bring it to you immediately.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance that they have the temperature. They have like a temperature controlled tap, but they could also have just a cooler that's temp controlled, and then they keep their water.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. In the cockamamie world we live in, if we started like a fine dining establishment, but we like fucked around with water temp and like made that a thing, where like this water comes out at 36 degrees and it does this to you as you eat this. This water comes out at 42 degrees.
God, a water restaurant.
Yeah. No. That's just part of it. We would clearly do.
That's what gets the people.
Right. Well, we'd do butter steaks, but we'd let them slop them up if they want.
Butter steaks.
Butter steaks are incredible, or as steak places just call them steaks. I think they're just called steaks now. That one's for Elena. But
hey, what are you guys? What's your favorite thing to get from a restaurant? Mine is salt, pepper, and butter over meat.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it.
Yeah.
Even not at a restaurant, I'm like, that's how you do it. If you have ground beef and you're like, oh, it's Meyer brand ground beef, put salt, butter, and pepper in it, slop them up.
Slop them up.
I want to go back to Sean Murray because I feel his addiction here. He goes, coffee splashes my mind with the first positive thoughts of the day.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's cliche at this point, but everybody knows it's a mild stimulant. But I'd be lying if I don't get that kind of the poor man's cocaine rush after a cup or two of coffee, where I'm like, nothing can stop me. And then I'm like, except for 30 minutes from now, when my body's like, nah, that was dumb.
I don't get stimulated at all.
Off coffee?
I get I feel not like I'm about to fall into exhaustion.
Yeah,
There's
that's stimulation for you, but you
Yeah, I
just
guess
start.
start lower.
Yeah,
But I don't
okay.
I'm not like, yeah.
Speaking in scythe terms, if this game did have negative power,
Yeah.
you would start the game
At,
at
like,
negative
negative-
1,
yeah.
and then your coffee would get you to about 0 or 1.
Yeah.
Whereas the rest of us would start at 3 or 4, and then be like, wow, this coffee took me to about a 7.
Yeah, no, there's I can't remember the last time I had a coffee and was like, all right.
When's the last time you did a little caffeine break? All caffeine.
Oh, not a chance.
Dude, you remember, I think you were living with me at the time when I just like
Yeah.
cold turkeyed caffeine for a week.
Yeah, you were shaking.
Well, that first week, first of all, if this is a PSA to anybody that wants to give away South America or stop using caffeine,
Uh-huh.
don't just, dude, because I was drinking like 1,200 milligrams a day, and the next day I was like, I'm done, I'm over it, and like I'm stubborn, so I got through it and I did a month, but I'm like, hey, you know what? You can probably back off to like 600 for a week, and then like down to a cup for a week, like. I don't know, man. I think I just went into it like a smoker that's like, I don't need it anymore. And I just fucking crunched the last pack of cigarettes. And I'm like, yeah, but coffee's not cigarettes. You could wean off it. You know, you could finish your.
You can also just drink coffee. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, that's what I realized. Now that I'm older, I'm like, all right, if I'm getting to a point where I drink more than 600 milligrams of caffeine in a day, I'm like, all right, I need to reassess my day.
Yeah, that's the caffeine. That's
Yeah.
nothing to do with coffee.
But yeah, you fuck with decaf?
Sure.
Yeah.
I just like coffee
Okay,
as a beverage.
That's fair.
And arguably at this point, I think I need caffeine.
no.
I think I need it, right? And I notice day to day, like I know if I haven't had caffeine
Yeah.
within the first couple hours of my day, I feel it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like the idea of having a coffee late at night, like
Yeah.
decaf,
Does that ever do it for you or no?
that sounds great.
Oh, see, I was going to say, I love it. And this is something I only do at like big family, like get togethers or dinners. But I always love it when the old ladies, like after dessert, and usually after like a rich meal like that, dessert's like, oh, fuck me. But they're like, does anybody want a cup of coffee with this dessert? And you're like, I don't know why. It just fucking slaps.
Dude, that's an
Like
old
a cigarette
person
after
thing,
sex.
dude.
Yeah. Like,
It's an old person thing. It's a cigarette after sex
Yeah.
for old people and desserts.
it's
And it's fucking brilliant.
It's
dude.
and here's the thing, it never fucks with my sleep. And I think it's because like there's so much tryptophan and carbs down there that one little the other thing is you got to do like a regular cup of coffee.
Oh, yeah,
You can't be ripping a mug.
No,
Like,
6 to 8 ounces
Yep.
of coffee.
Yeah.
And I've done it before bed.
little sliver cheesecake.
I've I've stayed up when I was working, like
Yeah.
I'll like be working on something,
Yeah.
and like I know I'm gonna be up later than usual, but I'll like have like while I'm kind of vibing out in my room,
Yeah.
I like to have like I'll make like 6 ounces,
Yeah. Yeah.
and just sip on it while I'm working
It's-
because it's that warm coffee in general ripping a mug.
Ripping a mug.
Yeah.
Greed gets it. Do we know Greed or is that just an internet
I know
person?
everybody on YouTube.
Oh, see, I stopped studying. My bad.
Yeah.
Greed, thanks for.
I'm in the
tuning in.
comments and every
I
video
know,
on
dude,
YouTube
you
that I
great.
can find, and
You're
I'm
great,
like,
yeah.
how's everybody doing?
What a year, huh? All
I try
right,
to
see?
get as early as possible.
Dude,
how you guys
just
doing?
end any comment on YouTube with, see you guys tomorrow.
I'm writing a letter.
Yeah.
I'm like, dear creator of the video and any commenters, how you doing?
Dude.
It's great to see everybody coming out and to support the channel. And then you go,
Jermaine, what's
oh,
up,
what's
dude?
up, Jermaine? And then you just go, thanks so much, Zach.
Yeah, dude, speaking of cool old people shit, though, fucking love that. When old people are on Facebook or texting and they still, like, sign their name.
Yeah.
You know who it was from the beginning.
Yeah, there's
but
a picture of their daughter.
yeah, well, sure, or something they liked from back in the day, but no, man, there's still something enduring about it. And I like doing it, but as a young person, like, I got to be careful because if you do it too much as a young person, you look like an asshole. But if it's an old person, you're like, no, that's just in their brain. That's how you sign off a writing message to somebody. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Well,
like,
the thing is, it's weird because I do it in email.
yeah,
Every time I send an email, I put
yeah, best or something.
yeah, and then my name.
Yeah, people that fire off lines to each other, and I get that if you're going back and forth in an email, but I always, even if I'm doing that, I still keep the.
I mean, I'll email people that literally have that separated.
Yeah, yeah.
So that it's like they'll write whatever they're writing,
Right.
and then it says like, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Like Ladorf,
Thanks.
the legal team that always has their chunk of shit at
They
the
have
bottom.
their like
yeah.
bottom thing, but it
Yeah.
always says like thanks, then
Yeah,
their name.
Yeah.
And I like that, but it seems a little bit impersonal.
Yeah, no.
So I like typing it out, and also it's just kind of how I was taught to send emails as a teenager and even a
Dude,
kid.
it is so funny that we had to learn how to send an email in like grade school or whatever, where they're like, "This is gonna be big," and granted, it was, but I'm like, all right, like they had no idea what was coming. Like emails, kids.
Because we didn't have phones growing up, we just had the house phone.
Mm.
My dad would go on business trip, but really he was working at like a factory doing shit for GM.
Yeah.
At some like I think he was like the jobs he was doing because he did stuff in somewhere like deep in the Midwest, and then he did something down in Virginia, I think.
Yeah.
Two separate ones. But he left for like months on end, and he would only get to come back like every 2 weeks. Like basically, he wasn't supposed to be able to leave, but he would take his weekends to
Right.
come back.
Right.
I think was how it worked. If my dad's in the chat, you can explain actually how it worked, because I'm remembering as like an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
But we didn't have phones, so like I couldn't just call my dad.
Yeah.
And I didn't know my dad's cell phone number. It was on the thing, but we weren't supposed to call him because he was working.
Right.
And stuff. So it was like on our fridge, but you're not supposed to call him because he's working and stuff. So the primary way that we would like keep in touch with my dad is email.
Got to get that email,
And
baby.
so my dad would send all of us an email in the morning,
Yeah.
being like, here's what I've been doing, and we would send emails about like what we were doing in school.
See,
or
that's
at home.
pretty great. Yeah.
And it was fun. My dad would like attach images of like some of the places he was exploring and like the town he was in that he was working in.
Yeah.
And it was always so like cool because there was something about my dad not wanting to be there at all.
Well, yeah, man. It was,
And just being like, oh, but this is how we're.
this clearly, yeah, it's a good dad. He wants to be with his family.
It hates the idea of being gone for that long. Well, yeah, I mean, I think if you were doing that by yourself, if you were like a single dude, and
Yeah.
you go out.
Man, okay, the coffee thoughts have us all over. I will get back to South America at some point, but I think I was talking about you know how I have my men of a certain age group I like to go have like dinners or lunch with. Like we have a buddy who's in his 70s, a guy who's in his 40s, there's me, and then there's another guy who's like maybe in his 50s, 60s. But we all talk about, you know, the different shit, but the men of a certain age group, I'm like, I think I've just skipped certain parts. Like, you know, everybody's life is their own. Because, like, helping Adrian move into the apartment and, like, that big city living, I'm like, yeah, I think I'm kind of, like, over that. Or, like, not going to do it a lot. You know, I'm like, I'm just going to, wherever I go, I'll probably put a down payment on a house. Or, like, when people are like, you don't want to live in, like, the middle of the metropolitan area? I'm like, no. Like, you kind of have to have, like, mid-20s to mid-30s energy for that. And I'm like, truth be told, I'm cool with, like, that not being part of my story.
Well, you have a weird hybrid energy going on. You got a weird hybrid vibe where it's like at times you got real youthful,
Yeah.
like, goofy kid wants to play fucking wiffle ball and build Lego,
Yep.
and then there's times
There's no hyperbole there. That is
that's
accurate.
literally
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Play wiffle ball and build Lego.
Yep.
And then the other side of you is like an old grumbler waking up being like, here we go again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like you're like a combination of and like imagine if a 9-year-old was getting up.
Yeah. He's cracking his
and
knuckles.
all he wants to do is play with his Legos all day.
Yeah.
But he's got about 15 things he's got to do before he can do that.
It's about right.
And he's waking up and he's like,
It is,
it's gonna be a Tuesday.
dude, it's funny because yeah, you kind of nailed it to a T, because I've always struggled with like growing up. I'm like, am I a man child or like, and then I look at it, I'm like, nah, because one of my favorite things is you can be childish at heart but still mature, and I think that's what I try to aims to do. Because like there are points in my life where I'm like, do I want to play wiffle ball and build Lego? Yes, but I'm like, no, I'm a grown ass man, so I got to go do this, this, and this first. But you best believe at the end of the day, then when it's like, all right, do you want to go get drunk and like do blow and like bang hookers, or do you want to go home and build Lego and play wiffle ball? I'm like, build Lego, play wiffle ball 9 out of 10 times. And I think that is that like that childlike wonderment that does kind of keep you youthful no matter what. But I will say this, I am at a weird goddamn age right now where it's not charming anymore. Because like a young 20-year-old to like older teen that still likes childhood stuff, parents are like, oh, look at this, like cool young adult, like still being cool with kids. Or if I make it to like late 50s, 60s, 70s, they're like, what an enduring old person that still loves childlike stuff. And they're, oh, look, he's like an Okinawan grandma who's like laughing like a child on her 100th birthday. But like as a 29 to going on 30-year-old, people are like, get the fuck away from my kid. I'm like, that's fair. I do want to let you know, I love the Lego set they're building, but I'm not going to tell you or them that because I'm not a fucking weirdo. I'm just going to appreciate it from afar and just be like, good set. So someday. And here's why I think I want kids, because I'm like, oh, fuck. These toys are dope and these kids are playing pretty cool, but I definitely can't play with these kids. So I'm like, I got to make some of my own. I got to make some of my own. And that's why I'm like, I don't care.
You nailed the same reason, different reason, same reason.
What's that?
Why I would like kids?
Yeah.
Is because I've been grappling.
Selfishly, you want to do stuff with them.
No, I've been grappling with the fact that I will never get to experience like true joy when it comes to like playing video games ever again.
Yeah.
Like, because as a kid,
the first timer thing, right?
Yeah, you're exploring all these games, and you get to you have the freedom of time.
Yeah.
And they're like this new thing, and every game is new, and so like, and like the first time you played Halo,
yeah,
you'd never seen anything like Halo before.
Yeah.
Whereas now, everything is like a Halo clone or a Call of Duty clone or Civilization clone, and so like, it sucks because games do fun new things, and like.
But you're talking about that literal first dude, that first hit, baby.
Yeah, well, but it's also mixed that with the freedom of time and like the enthusiasm of a kid,
right?
And you're like in awe, because
there's one thing that I think you can keep, which is the enthusiasm. It might be faked or not quite the same, but enthusiasm is the one thing where I think you can still go to bat for that no matter what age you are.
There is evidence of that. Just wait for direct neural interfaces. Well, the thing is that I do still get hits of that.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I super duper endorse. Who voted no? It's one of the reasons I super duper endorse like the encouragement and the push for Xbox Game Pass
Yeah.
and games as a service streaming
Yeah.
with like a game Netflix thing that
Yeah.
Xbox and Microsoft is like heavily pushing for and trying to do the right way
Yeah.
because that's brilliant. And I heavily I don't think I endorse a single company's service more than that. And that's not even as a gamer. That's as a person who thinks in our situation right now where there's like Paramount Plus, Netflix, Hulu,
Yeah.
HBO Max, it's all the same shit. It just has different movies on it,
Right.
different TV shows.
Right.
So it just depends on what you kind of prefer. But right now there's Xbox's streaming shit, which you kind of need an Xbox account and like a way to play still.
Yeah.
And then there's Stadia, which is super duper niche, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And some people have it, and I'm not bashing Stadia, but they did it poorly.
It's the Betamax.
yeah.
Well, it's not even beta. Betamax worked, but I get what you're saying. It's the very obscure lesser of the two that is probably not going to make it.
Yeah, no, there's no way they're borderline canceling it. They're like pulling out development and shit.
Which is unfortunate, but I mean, so goes the beast.
And Google does it constantly.
Right, right.
So it's not to be surprised that Google was like, this isn't working immediately. We're out.
Also, they might wheel back. Google Glass is like fucking. They threaten that every year. Like, is this cool yet? It's like, we were a little too early, but is this cool yet?
No, the moment Xbox figures it out, Google will most definitely do like Stadia too.
Yeah.
But what Xbox is doing is they're trying to like create an Xbox app for they already have it for phones and stuff, but they want it for like Roku and then like their own Roku
where you
device.
stream the games, right?
Exactly.
Directly
So you
to, yeah.
Pay $10 a month like you would for Netflix,
Right.
but you have access to the entire Game Pass library, but as to be streamed.
Do you not need the console?
No, you would literally go,
Just get a controller. Yeah.
and I want to play this one.
Right. But then you stream the game, right? And then their servers keep your saves and all that shit.
Correct.
So you don't even need the console, which
Everything's cloud storage.
I'm cool with on some degrees, but other parts of me, wheeling back to who I am as a person, I am a little bit of a you have a fort with your own shit where you can recoup and then you travel from there.
Well, that's the thing is I agree.
Android monster.
The most people. Okay, so I'll use the expensive PC model.
Okay.
Where it's like, there's a lot of people that are interested in like PCs and like PC gaming, but it's expensive to build a PC.
Yep.
And so they're capable of doing what you want it to do.
Right.
And it just makes more sense if you just want to play video games to get a PlayStation or an Xbox.
Right.
And so it's like barrier of entry, but even the console is a barrier of entry. Most people,
especially these days,
are like, like a Switch is cool, but like I don't want to spend $300 on a Switch, or like an Xbox is cool, but I don't want to spend $400 on the new Xbox. And so I agree, you should have your device.
Right.
You should have your games on your device, and you should own the stuff you're playing.
Right. That's the one thing I'm a little
Idealistically.
worried about, because they did it with music so perfectly
Yeah.
that like it kind of scares me. I think like the last bit of music I own that I bought, like that I can say, hey, I bought this print, was like a Raconteurs album like 2 years ago. Like a CD too. So I'm like, all right, how the fuck do I play this? But I don't want to shift gears too much on you, but I'm like, do you think this was also kind of a quiet but brilliant answer by big game and console games to kind of get back at mobile gaming? Because for a while there, it blew my mind that mobile gaming was just like the dominant video game entity quietly, whereas like Angry Birds was just like crushing it so
still
fucking
is,
hard.
by the way.
I believe it, and I think it always will be, but I'm just saying, like, I have Angry Birds, right? And I have an Xbox. But if you tell me I could play my Xbox on my phone, I'm probably a guy that's like, fuck yeah. Like, I'll play that over Angry
Right,
Birds.
and
Like,
that's what Microsoft is doing.
right.
Is they're like, we want you to be able to play AAA games.
Sean, go ahead and expand on that. Don't know if that's a joke or if it's literally like Archangel, the Black Mirror episode.
Yeah, I don't
Right.
know anything about that. Sure, I can
neither
look it
do
up,
I,
but I'll tell you, I'll look it up after we're done with this. The thing about mobile gaming versus like games as a service streaming
Yeah.
is that what I think it's literally eliminating barrier of entry for the average person, because right now it's hard to get into gaming.
Yeah.
A great example was like Jake, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jake didn't have a console.
Right.
Didn't have a console for years. Finally bought a Switch.
Yeah.
Right, but that was mostly bandwagoning because we all got Switches and like everybody's like, yeah, Switches. But it's like,
are you talking about the great COVID Switch?
yeah, exactly.
Where we all got Switches during COVID. I've had mine for years, and I dusted it off that week more than I ever did.
Yeah, we were all like, fuck yeah, it's Switch time.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that Jake in that scenario is one of fucking 80% of people
Yeah.
who do not have a video game console or don't plan on buying one because they don't know where to begin, right?
Right.
They don't know what games to play. They don't know anything about gaming. And they don't have a console. And so it's like, not only is it $300 plus
Yeah.
to get the thing to play the game, but you also are most likely going to need like some form of online membership.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're going to need to buy the games.
Hidden fees.
And so it's like
Yeah.
you're looking at $700-800 to like get a full experience with
Right,
PlayStation
right,
or
right.
Xbox between all the games and the online membership and all that shit. Whereas Xbox wants to be like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Get Game Pass and stream the games. Is it going to be the same experience as playing it on a hardware in your living
No,
room?
but they're good enough for your casual gamer. I'm
Exactly.
picking up what you're putting down.
And so you get these people now where it's like Xbox has literally got this app
Yeah.
that's designed to recommend you, hey, what are you looking for? You're looking for something low key. You're
Yeah,
looking for something
yeah.
like this. And then now you don't have to download it, don't have to wait. You can literally like, I feel like trying this out.
Yeah.
And you can try it out. And so and now it's giving people more of an avenue into gaming. And if they want to, they can buy something, get the better experience. They can
Right,
buy
right.
hardware and do all of that stuff on its own. And then it's also an option for friends and family to play together. Maybe you want to play Xbox with your kid, but you only have one Xbox. Well, now you can have the Xbox apps on your TV. All you need is like another controller.
Yeah.
And now you can play on the TV. It's that kind of shit that's like brilliant from a marketing perspective.
Yeah, I mean, to look at it sadistically, I'm like, oh, they're crushing the game, and they know what they're doing, and they're gonna make a lot of money. But, does that always mean bad? Is it always a bad thing when somebody figures out a way to make something awesome that people want to buy? I don't think so. And I also don't want to get into like a capitalism type of thing about it, but I do think, yeah, it is kind of wild, and I do think it was big game being like, okay, let's get some of our market share back. Let's also maybe entice some people, like you were saying, the algorithm thing. I'm like, again, I know a lot of people are kind of freaked out about algorithms knowing too much, but every now and again, I'm like, no, it's kind of cool when an algorithm's like, hey, you might like this. I'm like, good job, I do. Like, I don't think it's always a bad thing. Especially when it comes to entertainment, or I'm like,
and that's important.
Yeah.
The fact that it's like, this stuff isn't inherently bad, and I'm like, I'm a tinfoil hat guy at times, but it's like, I think it's crucial.
I'm big on tinfoil hats these days. I used to make fun of them, but you can't because they were just so right.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, like,
I mean, need I tell you what's underneath this hood this hat.
Yeah, there's a reason they can't see our hairlines right now. Covered in metal.
No, I think that the general like stance is like, I think that like what Xbox is doing, what Microsoft is doing, is a net benefit for the population of people.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, people that are going to buy games, people that are going to be those people aren't going to change. Nobody's going to go from their computer downloading the game they bought to their TV on a latency.
Yeah.
Like that's not the transition.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
transition
You
is-
don't downgrade.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It goes from I don't play games to I guess I'll get the Xbox app. It's $10 a month. I'll do this. To I should get an Xbox. I heard the experience is better. It doesn't go in the opposite direction.
No, it's that taste.
And it's I think it's a net profit or a net benefit for everybody. It's one of those cases where something a company's doing is literally good for the whole of individuals because it's like it's not like Netflix. Nobody goes on Netflix because they want to check movies out or TV shows out and goes, I think I'm gonna get the Blu-ray.
Yeah, yeah.
Or I think I'm gonna buy this movie.
I get what you're saying.
Games are a different medium altogether.
Yeah.
Nobody tries out Apex Legends for free streaming and then goes like, I'm gonna get a PC. Like that is actually reasonable, right?
Yeah, it might actually be a thing. Yeah.
Like I think I'm gonna get a PC. I'd say the average person probably wouldn't do that.
Yeah, but some.
But fans.
Yeah.
And the thing is that just expounds outward now because they're probably gonna get bored of Apex. And it's like, but they have this PC now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, now they're in the world of
they
PC
got you.
gaming.
They got you. They get you in. Yeah.
It's something that I do think is like,
dude,
one of the few company moves that is like good for people.
Yeah, but again, it's, I mean,
not altruistic.
Yeah, I was gonna say not altruistic. It's still marketing. It's still manipulation. It's all those things people don't like to hear out loud.
Compared to Spotify and the likes of Netflix and Hulu, something like Game Pass is way more funnelistick, you know, and arguably better in general for like the population and less leech-like.
Yeah.
Because even from what I understand, Game Pass pays incredibly well, unlike Spotify and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there is no free version.
Right, dude.
Game Pass pays the developers
I was
that
gonna
put
say,
on Game
dude,
Pass well.
That's one thing that kind of blows my mind. And then kind of I'll wheel it all back to the grandiose worldview, and then I'll walk the dog. But the fact that like Spotify, Uber, Lyft, like a lot of these companies are still not profitable. That blows my mind.
It's crazy.
They're
Uber,
not.
yeah,
they've
Uber
been out for almost like 20 years. Well, 10 to 15.
Yeah, they're about a decade.
They're
old.
Yeah, but like 10 years, and I'm like, I think technically Salsa Parlors made more of a profit. But my point being is like, there's still investors, and at some point it will probably become lucrative. But you have to be able to float billions of dollars to make something like that. Because what if tomorrow Spotify was just like, sorry, like we can't keep it up, and like you had to just start buying music again? People wouldn't do it. It'd be insane. Like people would not go back to buying $1 a song. There's no fucking way, man.
Or $10 an album.
Yeah, nobody ever is going back to that.
I also think
interest rate. Right. Yeah, absolutely.
I also think that there would just be another Spotify to take its place.
For sure, but I'm just saying it'd be another company doing the exact same thing that still wouldn't be profitable, because it's like
the correct mentality and what Spotify should have done to begin with.
Yeah.
Is absolutely no free version whatsoever.
Well, here's my tinfoil hat. You got yours on. I got mine on. It comes down to us, the consumer, has to pay the fair price. Where I'm like, dude, in the day and age of like Napster, and this is even with inflation rates. If you went back to like when Napster was or LimeWire was huge, I was like, how about for like $12 a month, no viruses, all the music you want to listen to anywhere off of your phone, and you'd be like, my phone can play music, and be like, well, follow me here. But like you do that even with inflation rates. I'm like, okay, I go back 10, 20 years, and you tell me that. I'm like, yeah, here you go. Of course, that's why you do it. But it's like now because people are poor as fuck, like they're keeping it at, $7. I think Netflix started at $7.99. It's now up to like $15.99. They slowly jacked it up. But I'm like, yeah, if you look at it like Spotify, if you told me Spotify was actually $25 a month, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds reasonable. And then at the same time, I'd be like, yeah, that seems probably enough for everybody that buys Spotify, if they were doing $25 a month, to pay artists a fair amount as well. Because when you hear about somebody making like fractal pennies on a play, I'm like, yeah, that seems fucked up. Like,
no, I was gonna say before you said $25 a month, I was gonna say Spotify should be $30 a month. Spotify should be the most expensive.
There's a Spotify rep with a heart on watching us right now. But
it's okay. Hear me out.
Yeah.
Spotify is not just unlimited music.
Right.
Spotify's unlimited podcasts as
well. Sure.
And it's also got video.
Yep.
And
pretty low key on that. I think the only thing people think it has video wise is Joe Rogan.
Yeah. It also allows you to download the music that you have.
Yep.
So that it's on your phone locally, so that you don't need an internet connection to listen to your music that you've stored, and has arguably one of the best like internet connectivity, like buffering rates of any app I've ever used.
I will say this though, it does sacrifice by quality of the song,
for sure.
Because I do have Apple, because it's rolled into something else I have through all my Apple shit, so that I just get Apple Music. And when Apple was just like, oh, by the way, our music sounds like 10 times better, I listened to the same song on both. I was like, oh man, it's like, it's the digital equivalent of like putting the record on when you listen to Apple, and you're like, okay.
Apple Music is the bougie Spotify for sure.
Yeah, its interface sucks. I hate
it's dog shit.
Yeah, I'm like, how did they fuck that up?
But it's also Apple specific, so it makes sense. But it here, I'll say
how many eggs a month should Spotify be?
It should be at least 4 dozen eggs.
I was gonna say, half a gross.
Yeah, a lot of eggs. It's a lot of eggs.
If we're talking post-apocalyptic world where you got to barter for your Spotify,
unlimited Spotify, it's like 100 eggs.
That's 100. Yeah, that's hella eggs, dude.
You gotta have a farm.
Yeah, you got a coop and a half. That's for sure.
Yeah, you better have a goddamn ranch.
Tell you this much: you're not having that omelet. Spotify is.
Spotify's having that omelet.
Spotify is that
I'll
omelet.
tell you what, it's so many eggs a month that Spotify's not a music company anymore. Spotify's an egg company.
Yeah, it's partner with Denny's in the post-apocalyptic world.
But
can you imagine if you subscribe to food services?
There is that.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, where if you don't finish, they take your leftovers back.
That would be hilarious.
And they're like, "We'll do something."
Only what
with this.
you eat.
Yeah. I'm being half facetious because I know there is like food subscription services, but I meant like
HelloFresh
in the way that like they take your shit back too. You don't own the food. You just kind of rent it.
It's literally, Sean. I know you're being serious, but it would be literally, how much is a dozen eggs?
Oh yeah,
and then I would be like $30.
Do it in okay. Well, eggs is nobody knows the market price of eggs always an egg, but you know what we do know? Hot and fucking ready's. And I'll tell you this much: I would say Spotify is probably worth 4 to 6 hot and ready's a month.
Yeah, and also
probably 6 hot and ready's a month.
A dozen low grade eggs is about $1.39, so it's about 10 cents an egg.
That's a lot of eggs. Then a gross would be about right.
That'd be I would say it's like 300 eggs.
It's fucking incredible.
Yeah, it'd be like 300 eggs, Sean. There's my actual answer. I think it's for 300 eggs, which is a lot of eggs.
That's you know, you could feed so many starving artists on Spotify.
That's how much I think it should be.
Yeah,
it's closer to about 120 eggs.
Yep, I'll give you that.
And You're converting back to dollar. Yeah, that's how I'm figuring it out. I think
He
think
just wants eggs and
Yeah.
move on, Zach.
I literally think after converting it to dollars, I think it's worth about 300
All right,
eggs.
you keep converting it to dollars. I'm going to go with Sean here. I think it should be about 2 ostrich eggs and then a half dozen brown eggs.
I'm saying not converted.
Yeah, me neither.
Not converted 300 eggs.
Okay.
I think that sounds
I'm
fair.
using a different form of egg.
Imagine on gut feeling of how many eggs are hot and ready. I think if I had to give somebody a certain amount of eggs to listen to music, unlimited music from every artist that put their services on there, music and podcasts, and the ability to download that music, if I had to give them eggs for that, yeah, I would have to give them at least 100 to 300 eggs to justify that.
See, I'm with 6 pizzas.
6 pizzas? I think it's more.
Yeah? 7?
7 or 8.
Your price is right, me right now?
I understand gut feeling of value, Sean. I'm telling you, my gut feeling is like 100 to 300 eggs.
Yeah.
It's
I like that 300 eggs is a fair estimate.
yeah,
But
it's a
man.
lot of eggs. I think 100 is low
Yeah, for sure.
for the value of what you're giving them.
Yeah. We got
Well, we can wrap it up.
no, yeah, I was going to say.
We'll wrap it up. I think my closing statements
Okay.
for our pod here, for our stream here, is that
Mid-management morning pod.
mid-management morning
The
podcast live stream.
MMMP.
This is an MMORPG, middle management online
Role-playing podcast.
role-playing
Roll podcast.
role podcast.
Fuck. It doesn't matter. Fuck it. All right. Final statements.
Uh,
Team and meat pie.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, that pizza debate was what I wanted. Fair enough, Sean.
Man, he's probably feverishly masturbating. He
loves
got
it,
us. He
dude.
got us so good.
Also, I didn't text Sean back when he texted me, and I realize that now.
Oh, that's a power move.
I feel bad.
He's finding out via podcast.
No,
Well,
he knows I didn't text him back because I didn't.
yeah, but I'm just saying.
But I'm realizing that I didn't now.
now you're saying it to his face. But there is a two-way street here. All right.
Closing statements. You guys should check out Scythe if you can.
Yeah.
It's a good game. I do think that Xbox Game Pass and Microsoft is doing some of the best shit in the gaming industry right now.
All right.
And I don't even think it's a competition amongst. If you prefer to play stuff on PC, I'm right there with you. Same. But they have Game Pass for PC, which is incredible. And then if you prefer PS4, by all means. And by the way, Xbox knows this. This is fine. As like kind of like a thing here. Xbox knows they're the fucking GOAT right now. They're doing the right shit because they released a statement making fun of people that argue online about what platform you play games on, being like, it's literally a meme of going like, "Way you play on Xbox, PS4 is so much better," and then it's like, "All right, man, play whatever you like."
Yeah, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
And I was like, "Hell yeah, that's a huge dick move to be like."
Dude,
Cool, dude. Play whatever you want.
I'm not gonna lie. It reminds me of like just the ego of it when somebody's like, in stand up, I just go, "Oh, cool, man, you're so much funnier than me." And then I'm like, "Where do we go from here, champ?"
It's crazy. It's almost like anything that's not water is bad for you.
yeah, right. Let's see. Closing statements. I think El Salvador should actually take over South America.
Okay.
Or we should just give South America to El Salvador.
I knew folks from El Salvador
Hmm.
in the kitchens I worked in. I knew Venezuelans, and I didn't know any Argentinians or Brazilians.
Okay. See, that's what I'm saying.
But I knew.
They didn't make it to America.
Is it Ecuadorians?
Ecuadorian. Yeah.
Ecuadorians, Cubans.
Well, that's Ecuador,
Because
and then there's El Salvador.
right. I'm talking about Ecuador.
Okay. Okay.
And then obviously your Mexicans and stuff. But I'll tell you right now, the Venezuelans and the Cubans, dynamite.
Well, I believe it. In a kitchen, absolutely.
Well, I mean, just dynamite individuals.
Oh.
And actually, Ecuadorians kind of dynamite as well. Mexicans mixed bag, but it's because there were so many of them
your market share, you got to just see like other people. Some
Exactly.
good, some bad.
Some
yeah.
good, some bad. But my impressions of those that were from South America
Yeah.
were like consistently good, and Cuba.
I'm not gonna lie,
Cuba's
man.
a wild card.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think we keep talking like this, we're gonna get that Fox News spot, no problem. So El
I mean, all
Salvador.
of them better than Americans. I have a stand-up bit about that.
Oh yeah, America's great.
Everybody south of America,
So much better.
they're south of the United States, dynamite
Yeah.
in comparison.
No, I was
The
just
average
I was
person
just
is
thinking
better.
about what bums me out again.
Yeah,
Coffee, not refreshing, but very comforting.
correct.
Scythe is
Water,
a great
very
board
refreshing.
game. Great board game.
Scythe is good. Water's refreshing.
Oh yeah, and then my final statement was gonna be the apocalyptic coffee talk, where nothing has scared me more in a video game than in Last of Us, when Joel in the first game, they're like in a city and they just walk through like a busted up cafe, like an old, like, you know, like some city coffee shop, and he just like walks by an espresso machine and goes, God, I miss coffee. I'm like, oh my God, that would fucking suck. That's why, you know, as far as prepping goes, you bet your ass I have tins of coffee saved up, because I'm like, oh yeah. Other than that, everybody buy MREs and we're going to be fine. People are trying to make 2021 seem worse than it is, but
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. We're gonna try to do this more frequently.
yeah. Also, Joe, Joe Biden, we know you're watching.
Joe vibing.
Joe vibing with Biden. Listen, man, we're trying. We're trying, dude.
Hey,
All right.
Hey, thanks so much for running this country, Joe. We
Yeah.
appreciate you watching. We know you're a fan, and we know you would donate if you could. We just don't have the donation box set up. So
Yeah. Sorry, Joe.
that's fair enough.
Apologies to Joe.
Apologies to Joe for literally not being able to donate. I know
Yeah.
he wants to. He, by the way, he doesn't like typing in chat because he says it makes him feel weird. And sometimes I'll do it under an alias, but
That dog shit bastard last night. Sorry, I just realized something about the game we played last night. All right, I'll tell you.
okay. But again, I'm sorry for talking about you, Joe. I know that's like, you know, you don't like attention being drawn to you, but we are working on that donation box so that you and everyone else can donate to Salsa Parlor, but mostly Joe Biden. Mostly Joe Biden. I know he wants to. He texts us all the time. He's like, "What's your Venmo so I can do like privately donate?" And we're like, "Nah, that's not worth it." Just watch the stuff, dude. We're happy that you're a fan.
I always kind of feel like he doesn't have the money either.
That's
like,
true. He can say like he wants to donate. And we're like, with what
I'm
money?
like, Joe, what on that salary? Okay, boss.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, boss.
Yeah. You want to donate? Okay.
I've seen what it costs to live at the White House. All right, man.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.